Good morning, it's Tanny the Canadian Stamper. Happy Sunday. I'm a day late because of a Stampin' Up event yesterday at Erica's house. It was called Creativity Now. I'm going to show you the projects that we made. It was just a fun Stampin' Up event for demonstrators. So it was nice to be able to gather with some folks and just do some fun crafting. Crafting's always fun. But today is going to be super fun. So a team member of mine, Christine, bought the stargazing, reach for the stars, stargazing suite. I'm going to show you in the catalog. And she said, maybe you could, I'll lend it to you and then you can make something with it. Christine, I see you're on. I sent her a sneak peek last night via text, a little video. So it's a spinner card and we're going to use pennies. Actually, I don't have any pennies. I have krona, which is Czechoslovakian money. I did it with a dime last night and it works fine, but I'm going to show you. So this is a very technical card. I don't get frustrated with crafting, like hardly ever. And I was a little frustrated with this one. So I might actually try to take apart the card, the prototype that I made, just to show you where I kind of went wrong. Save you paper and dimensionals and all that kind of stuff. Good morning, I see folks jumping on, hello. So I've done a lot of the cutting already, and so we're just gonna jump in to kind of the technical stuff because it's a little tricky, but it's super worth it. So I'm gonna flip you and do comments and welcome and thanks for stopping in. Let's do it. I got a new phone and I was setting up for my live and the camera wouldn't rotate when I was doing it, so I had a full panic attack trying to figure out how to rotate my phone, but it all worked out. So these are the cards that we made. Let's put them in order. We did them in this way. And so yesterday was Creativity Now, and it's a Stampin' Up event. So we used if Pam is on, oh, I see Nancy too. Maybe some of you know the name of this fluorescent. It's not fluorescent. Anyways, somebody is going to put in there what the name is. I don't own the stamp set, but a couple of the other gals did. And it's super pretty. This is Poppy Parade. So we did a bit of the background and then we used the rectangle dies to cut that out. And then this one, this is 2 leaves. Yes, translucent florals. Thank you, Nancy. And then we use this, I can show you right there. This piece right here is the same edging as this die cut. What are they called? They are called, these ones, deckled rectangle dies. So it almost gives you like a worn texture. And then this one. So in the event, they did a regular card, which this was the regular, and then they did stepped up or avid versions of the cards. So this is the avid version where we colored the vellum and then die cut the pieces. Yeah. So those are the cards we made yesterday. So we went over to Erica's house. Yeah, it was super fun. We had snacks and some good laughs. So yeah, it was fun. Okay, I'm gonna show you the card that we're gonna use today, and so this is my prototype from yesterday, and what happens is that this is on, I think if you search penny card, but see how it rotates? Oh my gosh, it's so fun. So I didn't decorate this, and it gets stuck right here. You probably can't see it. Oh, maybe you can. Can you see it? No. My dimensionals in there are a hot mess because, well, I'll show you what not to do when we do our other one. Because if the dimensionals are too close to the edges, then it gets stuck. See, it gets stuck right there all the time. But once you get going with it, it's pretty fun. Yeah. Okay, you could just do that for a long time and spin it around and around and around. So this is the suite we are working with. So it's on page 86 and 87 of the catalog. So the suite, so this is a single order number, so $103.50, and you get the bundle, so the stamp and the dies, plus the 12 by 12 designer series paper, and then the holographic trio 12 by 12. So if you liked everything, you could buy one order number rather than putting in a bunch of independent ones. And you still get the 10% off the bundle if it qualifies for that. So then here on the other side, so this is the designer series paper, which I'm going to show you in a minute, and then the holographic stuff, but I don't have this. And then this is the stamp set. And then here it tells you what the dies are. The darker gray shows you the dies. And in case you're not familiar, when, can you see it? Let me show you one. So see how this image is just an outline image? But this one, it's got like a cream colored base to it. Do you see what I mean? If you have a catalog, you should be able to see the difference. Anyways, my point being is that when it's got this sort of different shade to it, it means that there's a die that matches. That's a little tip for you. So if you flip to say this one, for example, the motorcycles, tells me there's a die for the flames, there's a die for the motorcycle, a die for the wrench, but what they don't have a die for are the sentiments. And same thing for down here. So like this one, for example, doesn't have a die to it. Anyways, you get the idea. So there's that. That's what we're working with. Let me show you the designer series paper. Well, Christine's designer series paper. So I did cut out some planets from there, and we are going to use this as the background. So you can hand cut these, like freehand, or you can regular cut, of course. Like, it's so pretty. The stargazing kind of a, I guess that's why they call it stargazing. And then that one's just like a dark, it's got a bit of blue to it. That's bright. That'll match some of the planets. Morning, Kate. Hi, Gail. I think this one's my favorite. It's gonna kind of like the Milky Way almost. And then there's this one, which is the one we're using today. So, like I said, this is Christine's bundle, and she asked me to make something. So I said, okay, I take your challenge. All right, so here's our prototype again. So it opens this way. Now, this one is the spaceship, obviously, but today we're gonna use, there's an astronaut. So we're gonna do same kind of style, but we're gonna decorate and stuff. This one, like I said, was just my prototype. So I was searching around for pennies this morning, and I didn't, so I have 2 krona. I think they're called krona. Anyways, they look like pennies, they're the same. So a nickel is too big, and then these are, so I have American dimes and I have Canadian dimes. I feel like the Canadian dimes were a bit heavier than the American dimes. I think it's probably not a big deal. I don't even know if that's true, but that's what it feels like. A quarter is way too big. So I did try last night with a nickel. So whatever money, whatever coin you're going to use, you could use washers as well. I don't even know if we have washers. But the idea is that you're going to stack these, and then it's going to go in the tracks. Let's do the dime. So the size that you're going for needs to be within the track. So I've used this one, Stylish Shapes dies. And I'll show you which ones I've used, but depending on, like, let's say for whatever reason you only had a nickel or a quarter or whatever, you could adjust the size, but what you're going for, like I say, is to make sure that your coin is going to fit in the track and not bounce out. So I think I might try this with the krona, because they're a bit bigger than the dime, just ever so slightly, but this one's done on a dime and I know it works. And like, let's say you don't have any pennies and you use something else and then you find pennies, I'll show you how to take it apart so you can, yeah, you're gonna take it apart. You're not gonna get it, I shouldn't say that. It's tricky, so you might not get it on the first round. feel like I'm an okay crafter, and when I messaged Christine last night, I was like, you might get a little frustrated because it's kind of challenging. So because I want to spend time on our technical side of things, I kind of did a lot of the die cutting already. So let me just move some of this stuff out of the way. So this is going to be for decorating. So this is the astronaut. Christine, I'm using your pieces that you already heat embossed. So that's going to go on there. And the astronaut's going to rotate around instead. So what I did, yeah, so I'm gonna move this stuff out of the way, and we're gonna focus on the technical piece, and then we'll do the decorating after. So I'll move those to the side. Okay, ready? Challenge accepted. Look at you. Now you have done the hard work for me. Well, of course, Christine, that's what I'm here for. Any good team lead would do that for you. Okay, so I have a standard A2 size card base in basic black. I'm just gonna varnish. I'm just gonna score this, or use my bone folder to crease that down. And then what I did is I chose a piece of designer series paper. Oh, you can see, I'm just looking at it now. It's not even quite, but it's fine. Don't worry about it. Actually, I highly recommend, if you're gonna do this card, I'm not gonna make a mistake today because I've done this, I've practiced enough. But I do recommend maybe using some cardstock to make your layers and do your thing. You can use this piece again, but do it with a piece of cardstock before you commit to using some of your specialty paper. Okay, so I cut this down to match perfectly. That's just personal preference. And then I took 2 dies and layered them on here to get my circle pieces, like so. And so we're gonna use this, and then this one here, we're gonna get rid of this piece because we don't need it. Don't get rid of it right now, but later, I mean, you could use it for whatever if you have a use for it, but that's how it's gonna go. But when we get to the part here in a minute where we're gonna put this in here, I think you should keep this circle piece because it's important that this be in the center. So as the astronaut swooshes around, if your circle is kind of off, it's gonna mess up your flow. So to help with that, can you believe it? I'm not eyeballing it. I eyeballed the other one and I had to keep taking it apart. And so you'll take this and then add it to the negative space just to help you a bit. That's my recommendation. The other thing you can do is once you have this on here, you could cut a small piece. How big is this? Just so you know, this is about 2.5 all the way around. So you could cut maybe like a 3-inch piece of paper and put it in behind there. If you didn't want this black solid, I'm fine with it. It doesn't bother me, but as a step in case you want to. All right, so let's put these away and let's do it. So as a side note, you're going to use a lot of dimensionals. So I did last night in this one. You know what? Let's take it apart. Let's just do it. I want you to see where I kind of went a bit sideways so that you can not do what I did. So let's take this piece out first. So I'm just gonna lift the paper just to take the piece off. So there's my mechanism. So you could reuse that. So here's how it goes together. There's my 2 dimes. I've got a dimensional in the middle, and I've got another dimensional there, which is what's attached to my rocket ship. There's a secret to that you'll want to do. So this isn't going to be pretty, but it's fine because I want you to see how I put my dimensionals on. So like I said, I used the foam strips, but I don't know that that was the best. I think just regular dimensionals, which is what we're going to use today. Doesn't mean you can't use the foam strips. I think it's fine. The reason why I hesitate is 2 reasons. One is because these dimensionals, these Stampin' Dimensionals regular and the foam adhesive strips are not the same height. The foam adhesive strips are taller than regular dimensionals and taller than the minis. These are the same, this is not. And when I went to put this together, I used foam strips, which you'll see in a minute on this piece, but then I used dimensionals on the dime piece, and they weren't the same level, which affected the flow. So if you're going to use all of this, I'll show you why that might be a bit tricky in a minute. I recommend just using dimensionals. These being hexagon, you have to trim it to be a circle when we're putting this piece together, which is why it makes it a bit tricky to use these for all of them, because of course they're long strips. So how do you make this kind of into a circle? And the reason why you want it as a circle, let's see if I can pull this apart. Yeah. The reason why you want this as a circle is because as this is going around this, it's bumping. This dimensional is bumping here. And if you left it as a hexagon, the flat sides are going to stop it from flowing. But if you cut it sort of just gently as a bit of more of a rounded, then it helps with the flow. So if you're using foam, somebody smarter than me would have to figure out how to make that a circle. So anyways, we're going with regular dimensionals. Okay, so now I treated this more like a shaker card, and that wasn't smart. And it wasn't smart because, I'm almost there. When I put the foam too close to here, so you're gonna see my hot mess in a minute. If you put the foam, these are all the bits because I tried to push it out of the way afterwards. If you put the foam too close to here, it's not gonna have enough room to travel. I don't know if this is interesting to everybody, but the mechanics of it is interesting to me. So to me, it would be helpful to know how it all goes together. So there's my base. So this is fine. The outsides, I mean, fine, it's fine, whatever. This is the piece that was problematic. So when I put this on, these pieces being there, this one is where it kept getting stuck. Remember how it kept getting stuck right here? That's this piece. And so what I did was I took my scissors and I took my bone folder and I was pushing it out of the way because it's too close. So see how I pushed this all out of the way? So the dime kept hitting and sticking. So when we do our main project, it's going to be a bit different. Here's all the little foamy pieces. But anyways, there's the mechanics of it and my recommendations. So let's do it. So we're going to take our designer series paper and we're going to do a whole lot of dimensionals. Don't be shy. And so we're going to go, like even that maybe is a bit too. So see where our dime is going to go? I feel like that actually might even be too close. So let's go back a bit. So if you are a demonstrator that teaches classes, I don't know that this is the class for, I don't know that this is the card for classes because it's a lot of dimensionals. So, well, I think it's a lot of dimensionals, maybe not for somebody else, but I think if I was gonna like teach this in a regular, like one of my regular classes, it's definitely not gonna be a card buffet, like a take your pick type of a class thing. I would do a little disclaimer about the amount of dimensionals that one must apply. Looks kind of pretty actually. All right, so just for good measure to balance out all the edges. Okay, so now I've got my little garbage. Let's take these off. Now, just as I'm doing this, has anybody made one of these before? Or is this brand new? I'm interested to know. So you want to, yeah, you can save this video in your Facebook, or if you're watching this on YouTube as a replay, you can give it a thumbs up or a like, and I think you can actually save this video or you can share it with yourself And I don't know if you have a list of videos that you use like as templates, but this could be the one. He's super excited for you to do this one. Oh, you showed him, yeah. So I sent, and Christy, when I sent you that video last night, I was trying to do it with just my left hand, so it wasn't really moving as well, but okay. So I want this to go down. I'm just gonna get my head right over it because I want it to be, it's cut exactly the same as the base. So far so good. Uh-oh, I feel like that's not tall enough. Okay, well, we'll see. Might have to take it apart. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, let's use my Corona. Let me show you, where's my dimensionals? Okay. I feel like this isn't tall enough. We'll see. And then you'll know. Maybe we need to double them up. So I'm taking these, this is the rounding. It seems like a minor thing, but it's worth just doing it quickly. That's pretty big actually. Oh yeah, that'll be fine. Okay. I'll put this in the middle. So this is the piece that's gonna sit, and then this piece is what's gonna run on the paper. So this is gonna go on top. There's our mechanism. It's just one. I'm just looking at this Corona is thicker than the dime. Okay, just for giggles, we're gonna do one with a dime too. I'm worried about that not being tall enough. So we're gonna test both. Save you the trouble of testing it yourself. So we do our dime. There, mechanism number 2. So let's deal with this. Our centerpiece. I think I'm gonna do 3. So you kind of want same theory as this, is that you don't want them to be super close to the edges, because so if we just take this and slide it into there as much as it's going to go, see where it's going to rotate, so that's lots of room, no worries. But let's just, if you were going to use a nickel for example, maybe you just do one in the middle. It's pretty heavy. I think that the weight of the coin matters as well. It could be that a penny, we don't have pennies in Canada anymore. So that's why I went with a dime. I guess I should have mentioned that earlier, because maybe some of my American friends are like, just use the penny. Okay, so there's my negative space. Kate, you've come across some, yeah, dimensional versus strips issue. Yeah. It's kind of unfortunate that if you have to find that out while you're in the middle of making the shaker card, that's kind of a drag. Okay, so I'm just lifting this out. So now you can get rid of this or keep it if you want. Now, so let's try our Corona. So what I'm doing is I'm taking this and I'm sliding it into the paper, and I'm pushing it, like I'm just kind of getting the paper, like obviously I don't want it like that. I want the paper to go in between, like that. Yeah, it's too tight. It's too tight. It moves, but it's not quite as loose as I'd like it to be. It's not terrible. Okay, let's take this out and let's try a dime. Now I'm wrecking my paper. So same, they're about the same width, so I should be okay paper-wise. Oh yeah, that's better. Look at that. Hot damn, folks, look at that. Sweet action. I love it. I love it when I'm proud of myself. Do you guys get like that too? You're like, yes, I nailed that. Okay, so in case you, sorry, my Croatian friends, if you watch, that's not, don't use those. Or double up your dimensionals. Okay, so, okay, let's use the rocket ship. I mean, I think it's fine to use this guy, but since I took my other thing apart, I want to use the rocket ship. So Christine stamped this and heat embossed with silver, and then you die cut out a couple of the flames, and I added them on with glue dots. I recommend glue dots just in case you have a bit of ooze. You don't want it to, so yesterday when this, which is now a hot mess, these little things were getting caught. So when it was like rotating around, these were getting caught in the track. So I think even worse so had I used wet glue. So I used 2 glue dots, but then what I did was I kind of pushed up the flames a bit so that they didn't get caught in the track. I want to put it on and then show you because I'm so excited. Rather than, I'll decorate in a minute. Ready? Oh my God. It works so good. So good. So that was a dime and regular dimensionals. Oh my gosh, do you love it? Can you give me a thumbs up if you love it? I love it. Wait for Facebook to catch up so you can all be so excited as me. You could just do it forever. Okay, what are the ideas? What are the ideas to use that to like other stamp sets and stuff? Oh my gosh, it's so cool. I love it. Okay, let's decorate. I am going to, now these are the planets I cut already, and we're not, here's the thing. Don't pop up anything else. So this is too big, because this is going to get in the way of my track, right? We want to keep this clear. So when doing this, you're committing to not, you can't pop anything else up around because it's going to get in the way. So I don't really know what I'm going to do here. This is this, which I love the rings, by the way. That's going to go there. Oh, great. My video just went dark. But I think you can still see me and hear me because that's what happens. I found out in a Facebook group that I'm part of, they're like, oh, my screen goes black at Facebook. And then I wrote and said, yeah, that happens to me too. I thought it was just me. And then somebody wrote back and said, if it's Facebook and something's wrong, it's not just you. It's never just you. It's Facebook. But that's okay because I think I can still see I'll still see your comments. Oh yes, a bee buzzing around. Yeah, good one, Nancy. So I think you can, there's some videos on YouTube that will kind of give some other ideas. And I just got a bit of glue everywhere putting this in. And hang on, there's this. So this, what is this? This is basic border dies. So this one, I think this could be fun. I think the other ones are a bit too jagged. I mean, maybe the cloud one, it seems kind of bumpy though. And where I'm going with this is that instead of the circle, you would maybe this way. I'm thinking ski jump. So if you did this, but you can't cut it all the way, and then did 2 of them to make the track. And then I saw someone had a little penguin and that would go down the ski jump kind of thing. Anyways, if you don't have dies, you can use your trimmer, and I think you want about 1/4 of an inch. So if you don't have the circle dies, don't worry. You can, if you have something, so let me just, where's the piece of paper? Let's just do it this way. Let's say this is your card layer that you want. Just, you can go into your trimmer mark an inch on either side, like where my thumb tips are. Put this in your trimmer and start 1 inch in and cut a line to the 1 inch here. Then open your blade, move it over 1/4 of an inch, doesn't matter which way, close it, and then cut that same so that and then you'll just snip the end so that you have a track, right? And then you'll put in your mechanism and you're ready to rock and roll. But the difference is this one goes around, this one is just gonna slide back and forth. I've seen people do it with a bike. If you have a bike and it's just going along, and you could make like a scene. It could be a road. Look at me and my imagination on a black piece of paper. So you've got your hole with your bike, and then you could put like a little street here, and then you could do trees and blue for the background, and your bike is going back and forth this way. Yeah. Oh yeah, beach ball. That's good, Nancy. Okay, I digress. Let's do this one here. Yeah, so it's fun. So in Canada, I guess I recommend using the dime. And I'm super pleased that the single level dimensional is working like a charm, folks. So I think you still could use this. Try it if you have them. But when you go to put your mechanism in, do 2 regular dimensionals. It'll be a bit clunky. Like you're not going to notice clunky, but you'll notice a difference to deal with the height. Okay, so I'm going to stamp a sentiment. Okay, I just love it. I just want to rotate it around and around and around. I kind of want another planet to go here, but it's too big. So, I'm just, sorry, I forgot my ink. 1 second. And I think this is lemon lime twist in there somewhere. So that's the ink I have. Whoops. This is the Circle Sayings bundle. Just so you know. Happy birthday. And then I'm doing the double oval punch. And I mean, it makes it seem like I cut this exactly, but I didn't. How big is this? This is 1 inch. So it's not very big. Please tell me if I'm not in camera, because like it's just black, so I can't see. I think I'm good. All right, this is a fun one. Yes, for sure, Wendy. Watch from the beginning because there's some really good tips in there. I think I might do happy birthday up here. Remember, we're not popping. Oh, we got to add our stars. That's what's gonna make me happy. I was thinking Wink Estella as well, but I think it's fine because the ship is heat embossed. Thank you, Christine. Oh my God, I just love it. Okay, but we do have these dies. Okay, so here's the thing. Excuse me. I'm gonna use my silicone mat and my take your pick tool, which has got my putty, and I'm gonna flip this. You could use tweezers too. So I'm gonna flip it to the what side I want up. I'm picking it up with my doodad. And I'm gonna add a little glue. Just a little dab, just a little bit. Shoot, that's too much. Okay, then we're gonna add these. Down here. So I'm just holding the base of it so that it releases from my doodad, my putty. Okay, so the Take Your Pick workshop for July is happening on July 15th because Canada Day is next weekend. Come here, you. And then we're going to be camping the following weekend. You know what that means. That means hopefully my friends at Goldstream, when we're camping at Goldstream, maybe I'll take some kits, of course, for the kids or whatever, but maybe we might get another interpretive dance out of Michael. Maybe we need to do like a whole bunch of dancers, I think. I don't know. The kids are older now. They're officially teenagers, so it's hard to admit it, but I am losing my cool status. Whatever. Oh well. Hopefully they will participate. Okay, I'm just gonna do maybe one more of these. It was fun last year. I should actually, Michael, if you're watching, maybe you should put your mind to that. Maybe brainstorm with the kids. Yeah, and you're right, Gail. Natalie needs to get out of bed earlier, doesn't she? Oh, maybe we will start the live or do a road trip to her campsite. Here's the thing, is that they're super close to us this year. Yeah, we shouldn't tell her though. Don't tell her, Gail, don't. It'll be a surprise, she'll love it. We'll set up outside of her trailer. Maybe we'll bring coffee just so that she's not super grumpy with us. That's pretty funny. Whoops. Okay, so this is a super cute bundle. Thank you, Christine, for giving me the challenge. It was fun. I put this together last night and I'm glad that I was able to, you know, have some do this but don't do that advice for you. Maybe that saves you some frustration and some supplies. What do you think, Christine? Do you think you're gonna, and everybody, are you gonna make this? It should be an annual thing. I agree, Nancy. It should be an annual. Maybe it is an annual thing. It is. Okay, there it is, folks. We're ready to rock and roll with our card. Oh, don't forget to put because it's black, so put a piece of white in here and then maybe add, you know, something else if you want, like another planet, or stamp something on the inside. Guys, I just love it. I'm so proud of myself. I hope you make it. And if you do, tag the hashtag the Canadian Stamper if you post your stuff, and because I'd love to see it. I'd love to see you successfully or even partially give this a try. It's super fun, right? It's kind of mesmerizing. I'm just doing it over and over. Oh, not sure if you can watch live. That's all right, Gail. It'll be recorded so you can go back to it. I mean, you should come back to it just for the look on Natalie's face when we wake her up at 9 o'clock. She's gonna love it. That's a great suggestion. It's totally gonna be your fault, Auntie Gail. Okay, that's good. That's it for today, guys. I have to go back to school now. I have to submit my research methodology today. And I've had a lot of fun crafting. Enjoy. Have a great Sunday. Bye for now, guys.